In the chaotic and often unpredictable journey of life, there are certain principles that must be upheld with the utmost reverence, no matter the pressure from external forces, and Stoic philosophy offers profound wisdom on this matter. 5 things, in particular, should never be sacrificed for anyone: your self-respect, your health, your dreams, your values, and your happiness. These 5 aspects are the bedrock upon which a life of integrity, peace, and fulfillment is built. In Stoic thought, figures like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius remind us that we, as individuals, must control what is within our power and protect the things that define our existence. Let's begin with self-respect, a core pillar of Stoic philosophy, and one of the most significant things that should never be compromised. Epictetus, a Stoic sage, emphasizes that we cannot let the opinions of others undermine our self-worth. It's easy in today's world, where societal pressures and external validation often dictate our sense of value, to lose sight of who we truly are. Self-respect, according to Stoicism, isn't built on the approval of others, but rather on the alignment of our actions with our internal moral compass. If we sacrifice our self-respect to please others or meet external expectations, we lose our connection to our true self and the integrity that comes with it. The Stoics urge us to always be steadfast in our principles, to hold ourselves accountable, and to trust in our judgment. By doing so, we avoid falling prey to the constant external pressures that seek to change us, and we remain anchored in our authenticity. Moving to the next foundational aspect, health, an essential resource that must never be neglected or sacrificed for the sake of anyone or anything. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, stresses that our physical health is not something to be taken for granted. The body, while not the ultimate source of happiness, serves as the vessel through which we experience life. Sacrificing our health, whether through stress, poor habits, or neglect, leads to the erosion of our capacity to live fully and to pursue our deeper aspirations. Stoic philosophy does not suggest indulgence or excess in the pleasures of the body, but rather encourages moderation and balance. It calls us to cultivate habits that sustain our well-being, to eat well, exercise, and find stillness in the mind. By maintaining our physical health, we ensure that we are in the best condition to navigate life's challenges and pursue the path to wisdom and virtue. The next thing never to sacrifice is your dreams. Dreams are the manifestation of our deepest desires, the blueprint for our future. The Stoics emphasize that while we should remain detached from outcomes, we must never let go of our aspirations. Epictetus teaches that external circumstances and people will always try to influence our path, but it is essential to remain grounded in our vision. Sacrificing your dreams for the approval or comfort of others is a sure way to drift through life without purpose. Dreams fuel our drive, and they are the spark that ignites action. It's easy to allow others to impose their goals onto us, especially when faced with societal norms or pressures from family and peers. But the Stoics would remind us that true fulfillment comes from following our own path, even if it diverges from conventional expectations. Dreams are an essential part of who we are, and by protecting them, we honor our deepest selves. Next, we arrive at values. Stoicism teaches that our values are the foundation upon which we build our lives. These are the guiding principles that define our character and shape our decisions. In a world that often seems to be in moral flux, it can be tempting to compromise on our values in the name of convenience, success, or acceptance. But Marcus Aurelius warns against this, urging us to remain true to our principles even when it's challenging. Sacrificing our values for the sake of fitting in or achieving temporary success can lead to a life of regret. The Stoics teach that virtue is the highest good, and that our values, whether they include honesty, courage, or integrity, should always guide our actions, regardless of external pressures. By protecting our values, we ensure that we live authentically and with purpose. The final thing that should never be sacrificed is your happiness. In Stoic philosophy, happiness is not found in external circumstances, but within ourselves. It is not a fleeting emotion, but a state of inner peace that comes from living a life in accordance with virtue. The Stoics did not believe that happiness came from external possessions, accolades, or the approval of others. Instead, they understood that true happiness is a result of our internal attitude, our ability to manage our emotions, and our acceptance of what is beyond our control. Sacrificing our happiness for the sake of others or external expectations only leads to inner turmoil. In fact, the Stoics would argue that we have a duty to preserve our happiness because it is through our inner peace that we can contribute positively to the world around us. By learning to cultivate contentment, acceptance, and gratitude, we align ourselves with the teachings of the Stoics and protect our happiness. These 5 things, self-respect, health, dreams, values, and happiness, are integral to living a life that is aligned with Stoic principles. They are the pillars that support our well-being, integrity, and fulfillment. Sacrificing them for anyone or anything leads us down a path of compromise, regret, and disconnection from our true selves. The Stoics teach us that while we cannot control the actions of others or the circumstances we face, we can always control our response. By staying true to these 5 principles, we remain anchored in our virtue, and through this alignment, we find meaning and purpose in every aspect of our lives. Life may present challenges, but with the wisdom of Stoic thinkers, we can navigate them with resilience, wisdom, and grace. As the journey toward understanding the 5 things we should never sacrifice unfolds, we begin to realize that the essence of Stoicism isn't merely about philosophical contemplation. It's a call to action, a blueprint for living with integrity, purpose, and unshakable resilience in a world that constantly tests our resolve. Imagine, if you will, standing at the edge of a great precipice, gazing into the unknown expanse of your future, with the wind carrying whispers of doubt and fear. The pressures of life push from every side. The expectations of others echo in the distance. And yet, amidst all this noise, there's a voice that rises within you, a voice of calm assurance. That voice is the voice of your inner wisdom, your Stoic heart, guiding you to preserve what truly matters. It's in these moments of turmoil that we understand what Stoicism offers us. Not just a philosophy, but a way of life that steadies us in the storm. Think about your self-respect. In a world obsessed with external validation, where social media likes and external accolades seem to define worth, your self-respect becomes your most sacred asset. It is your anchor in a sea of fleeting approval and transient praise. When the storms of criticism and judgment come crashing down, you stand firm, knowing that your value is not determined by others, but by your own unwavering commitment to your principles. The Stoics believe that external circumstances hold no power over us unless we allow them to. And so, in this cinematic reality, imagine yourself walking through the streets of a bustling city, the noise and chaos swirling around you. Yet, you remain unshaken, grounded in the unbreakable fortress of your self-respect. You don't bow to the whims of the world. You simply walk your path, guided by your inner compass. This brings us to the body, the vessel through which we experience this life. The Stoic principle of maintaining health, physically and mentally, becomes not just a practice, but a sacred duty. In the silence of your mornings, imagine a routine built not on rush or exhaustion, but on mindfulness, on a deliberate choice to care for the body that carries you through the world. Each breath you take, each movement you make, is a testament to your commitment to life itself. When the world demands more from you than you can give, when you feel the weight of others' expectations crushing you, remember that your health is not just the absence of illness. It is the foundation of all your aspirations. The Stoics understood that a healthy body is a vessel for a healthy mind, and as you move through your day, you are reminded that without this vessel, the rest of life crumbles. So, choose to care for yourself with reverence, knowing that in this act of self-love, you are preparing for the trials ahead, ensuring that you are both resilient and capable. And then, there are your dreams, the visions of your highest self. They are not merely fleeting fantasies, but the very essence of your purpose. In a world that constantly distracts, where the noise of others' ambitions threatens to drown out your own, your dreams are your sacred fire. They are the blueprint of your future, the guiding stars that illuminate the path forward. But as we all know, the journey to our dreams is never smooth. It is filled with obstacles, doubts, and voices that tell us to conform, to let go of the impossible and settle for the mediocre. The Stoics, however, would have us remember that the pursuit of virtue is never easy, and that the path to our deepest desires is not one of comfort, but of discipline and dedication. Picture, for a moment, standing at the foot of a great mountain. The summit is your dream. The climb is steep, the air thin, the path uncertain, but the destination is clear. In these moments of doubt and struggle, the Stoic perspective shines through. You don't worry about the obstacles. You focus on the next step. Every challenge is an opportunity to refine your resolve, to strengthen your spirit, and to affirm that your dreams, your vision of who you are meant to become, are worth every ounce of effort. But dreams, like all things, must be rooted in values. Your values are the unshakable bedrock upon which all your actions are built. They are your moral compass, guiding you through the turbulence of life's challenges. The Stoics were clear that virtue, living in accordance with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, was the highest good. In this cinematic world, imagine standing before a vast expanse, a field stretching out endlessly before you. On the horizon, you see countless paths leading in every direction. But you know that the only path worth walking is the one that aligns with your values. No matter how alluring the others may seem, no matter how much they promise ease or success, you remain steadfast. In this moment, you are a beacon of integrity, unwavering in your commitment to doing what is right, even when no one is watching. Every decision you make, every step you take, is rooted in the unshakable belief that your values are non-negotiable. Finally, there is happiness, a concept so often misunderstood in a world that equates happiness with external circumstances. But the Stoics teach us that true happiness is an internal state, a result of living in harmony with nature, with virtue, and with the soul's deepest longings. In the grand cinema of life, imagine standing in a serene, sunlit meadow. The wind gently blows, the trees rustle softly, and there is a sense of peace that fills the air. This is your inner world, untouched by the chaos of external circumstances. Your happiness does not depend on what happens to you, but on how you respond. In a world that constantly seeks to define your worth through possessions, status, and fleeting pleasures, you remain grounded in the understanding that your true happiness is found in your inner peace. You have learned the art of contentment, of embracing the present moment, and of finding joy in the simple things. As you navigate life's inevitable hardships, you are not shaken by external events. Your happiness is rooted in something far deeper: your own acceptance, your resilience, and your unshakable commitment to your principles. As we draw this journey to a close, we are reminded of the profound wisdom of Stoic thinkers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius. They offer us not just philosophical musings, but a way of life, a way of being that transcends the superficial, that stands firm in the face of adversity, and that embraces life's challenges with grace and courage. The 5 things you must never sacrifice: your self-respect, your health, your dreams, your values, and your happiness, are not mere concepts. They are the very foundation of your existence. They are the pillars that hold you up when the world tries to knock you down. In this cinematic journey, you are the hero of your own story, navigating through the trials and tribulations of life with the wisdom of the Stoics as your guide. And in the end, it is not the external world that defines your happiness, success, or fulfillment, but your unwavering commitment to these 5 sacred principles. By protecting them, you protect your soul, and in doing so, you create a life that is not just meaningful, but truly extraordinary.